Hello, LilyKatchum video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Galarian Slowbro. This Pokemon got access to the move Brutal Swing this season, which also got a bit of an update compared to last season, which you most likely know already, but for the people that are not aware of it, Brutal Swing got changed from a 40 energy move to a 35 energy move, while losing, I think, a base damage of 10 there, going down to 55, which is still a very solid move and definitely going to benefit a bit. That's going to be a bit faster to be reached. And of course, in a meta like the Psychic type meta here, we're going to have only Psychic type Pokemon. Having Dark type coverage is quite a decent one, but not only this is going to make the Galarian Slowbro one of the best and most interesting Pokemon for this meta, it is also the typing as well as the fast move. There are quite a lot of good fairy type Pokemon in this meta, like the Rapidash mainly, but also something like a Gardevoir, and those Pokemon you're going to be able to feast on, especially here with our lead. That's going to be very weak to those fairy type Pokemon. You're going to have a lot of fun with the Slowbro. This team here, also, of course, other than Melma, is going to have the Bronzong in the back. Bronzong is going to be a Pokemon as well that is going to benefit quite a bit from Slowbro as a Say-Swap, as Bronzong is going to be weak against those ground type Pokemon, which you're going to be able to bait out with the Slowbro, while still being able to hit them quite hard with the Brutal Swing. I could have also put Scald on this Pokemon, which I think would have been a bit better for me as well, but generally speaking, this Pokemon was quite good, as you're gonna see here as well. We're gonna be able to catch the move from that Rapidash as well here, as the Bronzong is going to be quite good against this Pokemon, and they're definitely going to lose this battle. There's nothing they can do here anymore to win. They cannot get enough energy in order to beat both Slowbro as well as our Bronzong here, and so this is going to be a very good game, as the Heavy Slam is gonna finish up this pony. So, let's take a look at this team again, and let's take a look at something that maybe would change in the future. One thing here that would change is maybe even the Say-Swap. While Slowbro is kind of a fun one for, like, generally speaking, as a Say-Swap, here it's definitely an interesting one there, as you're going to have access to Brutal Swing. I actually would think that it might be better as a closer and Bronzong as a Say-Swap. Reason for this is literally the matchup that you can see here right now, which is not planned, but definitely going to showcase quite a bit on what I mean with that. We're going to have an interesting matchup against Claydol. Claydol can fully farm us down. We have to basically use a shield against Claydol to still survive, and that is not really ideal. What the Bronzong would be able to do is at least do super effective fast move damage while still pressuring with charge move damage as well, forcing the opponent to go for a charge move later on, not really being able to fully farm you down there as well because you have more bulk on it. And so I feel like it would be better actually to Say-Swap Bronzong over the other Pokemon there, over the Slowbro basically, especially Slowbro has a lot of times a bit better matchups as a closer. One cool thing about Bronzong, which I really love, is that it has the fast move of Feint Attack, which is going to allow us to do a super effective damage against Hoopa, which is a Pokemon that definitely is uprising right now. So Dark type fast move attacker are definitely going to be Pokemon that I would expect going to have a little bit more, just going to be a little bit more common throughout the next week of the Psychic Cup. But here, sadly, we're going to lose this battle. My only win con was to fully farm them down with the Psy Wave, which did not work out. And so we can move on to the next opponent. Let's see what they're going to run. We're going to have here the Rapidash against an elite, horrible Elite Force. We're going to swap out here still in the Slowbro. Again, I feel like the other Say-Swap would maybe be a bit better even sometimes with the Bronzong. But anyway, we're going to be able to go for a Brutal Swing against that Broguiere, and we can even reach another one in time, as Broguiere doesn't really generate energy fast, as it runs the fast move of Bite, and Bite just generates, I think, 2 energy per usage, which is not a lot at all, but does quite a bit of damage with, I think, 4 damage, which is very, very solid. But anyway, they decided to go for the bait move here, which is fine by me. They have 0 shields left, and that is going to be quite important because I cannot actually think about one Pokemon that's completely hard-walling Bronzong so hard that we're going to lose with that. Because basically the combination of Steel typing as well as the Dark type charge move coverage there is going to allow us to basically hit everything in the cup for super effective. I don't actually remember a single Pokemon that can resist both of our moves basically. Because if you think about it, the Dark type Pokemon, like basically the Psychic type Pokemon that can resist Dark typing, are usually the Rapidash here as well as the Gardevoir, and they are going to be weak against the Steel typing, and this kind of showcases again on how strong Bronzong also is on this meta. Taking a look at the next opponent, we're going to encounter a Elite Mirror matchup. They're still running the same fast move as well here. Again, there's actually kind of a bit of a shift here. Shift is what I actually want to say. A Swift as well, maybe on some Pokemon. It's actually Swift, I don't know. But a little bit of a shift in the meta that a lot of Pokemon are actually going, a lot of Malamars are going back to Psycho Cut just to generate energy a bit faster. This is definitely going to help you, especially if you are going to run the move Hyper Beam. Also, I was very surprised about this one here, that they got to the foul play in time, because they must have got some sneaky fast moves in somewhere, because I was not at a foul play yet, and if I was at a foul play, like then it would make way more sense than whatever happened there, but that was definitely not the way at least I anticipated it. But we're still not going to give up here in this battle. We're going to use our shield against a potential payback, which it is going to be here, and so they're going to swap back into the Rapidash, and I'm kind of confused about this for a bit, because it was like, that's a steel type. Do you actually have high horsepower on this Pokemon? I was a bit confused about this. Let's see if they're going to run the move that we expect here. They do not. They have Mega Horn, and so I'm like, that's actually an okay matchup. We can still take a Mega Horn, but can we still win the battle? It is going to be quite a bit of a difficult one now, especially seeing the damage that the opponent got onto us. And so I'm going to be forced to swap out of here and hope they can still get to a move in time, which I can't, and so we're going to sadly forfeit. Hooper. Hooper is a Pokemon I don't really like to battle against, but I know what I really like to battle against, which is going to be the Rapidash, where we're going to be able to go for a shield, and we're going to be able to go for the full farm down. As they decide to go for the body slam, I decide to actually use both of my shields, and I am totally fine with that, because I know that our coverage moves are going to most likely allow us to get the shields back anyway. Malamar is most likely the worst possible Pokemon I could encounter here, because it's going to be the only Pokemon that can really resist, or like resist, but like at least really can take our hits here. But the thing is, they have a Pokemon in the back there still in the Hooper, which can be a bit tricky. But we still have Feint Attack in the back, and Feint Attack is going to be very important for this matchup, and this is something that I would really recommend you if you're gonna try out the Psychic Cup again. Try to have really at least one Pokemon with either Ghost or Dark type coverage as its fast move, because Hooper is taking over right now, and Hooper is a very strong Pokemon. And here you see me going into my Slowbro because I need to sacrifice a Pokemon for the Shadow Ball. I don't have shields anymore, and now it's all down to Bronzong. Can we win the battle? We're gonna be able to go for the full farm down, and we can even fully farm them down here as well. We can move on to the next opponent. Galarian Slowbro on the lead. This is going to be a very favorable matchup for the Malamar. Doing neutral damage with a fast move, doing super effective damage with a charge move is going to be something that the opponent cannot underestimate. As we will see as well, we're going to try our best here to keep alignment by not using a shield, but we're still going to be able to easily take it. But now we're going to use a shield, as now we are kind of in the position where we have to do this. We still will be able to go for a foul play in time, which would be able to knock them out, but I could see them actually use a shield and try to realign with everything, but they don't do this. They're actually going to just, yeah, stay in there and try to sacrifice their Pokemon, as we can now go ahead and go into our Slowbro. You can see the opponent's Rapidash, and that's why it kind of stayed in there for a bit. They decided to swap onto the Hooper, and this is where Bronzong is coming in clutch, and that's exactly what I kind of mean. Hooper is taking over the league, which is something I was also kind of expecting after a bit, because like Stab Astonish is just very strong in a Psychic type meta. But what we're gonna see as well is that we can deal with this Pokemon, with this team, because we have that Feint Attack on the Bronzong, which is double super effective against Hooper. Hooper has basically no defense, which is really good for us, which makes this Pokemon kind of still balanced at least. And so here we are gonna be able to easily still get to another charge move, but is it going to be enough to knock them out? Let's find out. It is enough, and that is going to be fine, so you can now move on to the next opponent. Malamar Mirror matchup. That is going to be a matchup where we're going to try our best to go for some more foul plays, but the opponent decides to stay in here actually, which is interesting. Again, here it really depends on if you have Hyper Beam or not. Hyper Beam is the ideal way of playing it, most likely for most players, and so that's why I decided to use a shield here straight away. It's going to be a foul play. That is fine. They decided to go straight for another foul play afterward, which is also fine. And I can overfarm by a bit, and I can overfarm by a good bit, but they swap out into the Victini, allowing me to go for one charge move here, allowing me to go for another charge move afterwards as well here, and so we're in a very solid spot, as we can get a ton of damage onto them and still keep my Malamar for later on, as I can swap out into my Slowbro. I have to be a bit careful though, because V-Create can be a bit tricky, does quite a lot of damage, but I expect them to go straight for another one, which in hindsight was a bit of a mistake. I could have actually avoided a charge move from the opponent, but I will see here the Malamar coming back in, which is not ideal for me. I have to kind of hope that I can still get another charge move off against that Victini, but it's going to be close. We can do that, which is very good for me, as Brutal Spring gonna take them out for sure. Now it's down to what they have in the back. I swap out straight away because, again, there's basically no Pokemon that can really deal with Bronzong, as I guess Claydol is the worst possible matchup that it can have. Anything else we can go for basically a payback in time. We can easily take hit from the opponent still here, and payback is going to take the knockout against them. And so this is going to be a very good game here, I would say, as the payback is going to be enough to knock them out, win us the battle, and we can move on to the next opponent. Claydol is going to be an interesting one, as we're going to try our best to go for some foul plays. And Claydol is most likely one of the worst possible Pokemon for me to face. Here, make a huge mistake, by the way. This is a ginormous mistake to go into your Bronzong against a Gardevoir. Don't do this at home. Go ahead, go into your Poison Jab user, which does way more damage against this Pokemon. Very silly mistake by me. Don't do this at home. Like, literally, that was very, very silly. Doesn't make any sense at all. And the opponent is going to be able to fully farm me down, get up to 100 energy with their Claydol for sure at this point. Very, very silly by me, but I may be gonna encounter something like a Rapidash in the back that would definitely help me out in that kind of scenario. We're gonna be able to go for one charge move here, getting the foul play off, getting the shield from the opponent. We are forced to use our own shield. Let's see how this is gonna go. It's going to be a Rock Tomb actually, taking quite a lot more energy than before, and it's going to be Broguiere against our Slowbro in the back, and as you can go for the Brutal Swing, we know already that we're gonna put them into either farm down range for Slowbro or farm down range for the Malamar, which I'm totally fine with, as now the opponent is gonna decide to forfeit. We're gonna jump right into the second to last battle for today. We're going to have the Malamar in the lead in the mirror matchup. Again, it depends if the opponent has Hyper Beam or not, if this is going to be a good matchup for us or not. We're gonna try our best to go for the foul play to get half of the HP gone from them. They're gonna try to retaliate, and for me it's just best to go for a shield here, as we're gonna see here exactly why Hyper Beam is coming through, which would be a very, very devastating move against our Malamar. And as we're still going to have some decent coverage, at least in the back there, we're gonna be kind of okay here, I would say, as you can go for 2 foul plays against the opponent Slowbro, which is gonna be enough to allow us to go into our Bronzong, I guess, which can take 2 hits from the opponent. We're still not really in a great spot, I have to say, but we can still try to maneuver around it. We're gonna be able to double resist the fast move, but we also have to kind of hope that we can either fully farm them down or still get to a heavy slam in time, which we are not going to be able to do, and they're gonna go into the Slowking, and this was a huge mistake. I could have guaranteed the knockout here with the payback, but I did kinda went to a bit too fast for the charge move here, which is a bit silly. But now it's really down to my Pokemon they have already. Like, how am I gonna deal with it? I'm gonna go into my Slowbro here, but I have to be careful. I'm gonna catch the move, which is basically my only way of still winning this battle. Can we still win the battle? It's gonna be close. They're gonna go for the Surf, which I didn't expect. Yes, the Slowking did not get access to the move Brutal Swing, which is a huge update, or like a huge difference there anyway. As they're gonna go back into the Slowbro, can I outspeed them? I can knock them out. And now it's all down to the final Pokemon, and as you're gonna know already, this is going to be great for us, because it's going to be the Malamar, and they decide to forfeit. Final battle for today, again another Malamar mirror matchup, which is going to be something that is kind of common, but honestly, there might be some solutions towards this kind of problem. I would imagine that Gardevoir lead is going to maybe become a bit more common. Again, another Hyper Beam, and again, this is exactly why you want to use a shield for the first move. And still, when they're gonna go for Hyper Beam, you can shield up. This matchup is yours. There's nothing the opponent should be able to do here anymore to come back from this one, because he's just gonna get so much more energy than the opponent. We're gonna have the Slowbro coming in against us. We can go for another charge move here, but this also means that they're very weak against us in the back. They don't have a Fairy type at all in the back, for sure not. Otherwise, I will have stopped into this one right now. But I should also be able to still take a Brutal Swing here, and so I let the move go through. It's going to be a Scald. I can still take it as well and go for the super effective hit here. Let's see what the opponent tries to do. They decide to let the move go through, and now it's down to our Bronzong and our Slowbro to win the battle. It is going to be, though, the Claydol in the back, and that's not ideal. That is not ideal at all. That is going to be a matchup that I don't want to see. I let the move go through, but this is very risky. We don't get the debuff, but we still have a move start against the opponent here. We have to go for 2 Brutal Swing, ideally 3 Brutal Swings. If I get to 3 Brutal Swings, this game is over, the Slowbro. Otherwise, we have to rely that we win the CMP tie. The opponent is going to be able to go for another charge move, 30% chance to drop my attack. Can we still win this? We're gonna get the attack drop here, and this might be the way of losing this battle. Attack drop is coming in. We're gonna do way less damage, not enough to knock them out, otherwise we would be able to, and now it's down to our Bronzong, but we can get off the heavy slam, and that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.